What's up guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and welcome to the private server tier lists. I'm doing this as a bit of an extra video, bit of a fun video. Reason I'm making this is because, well, Classic is right around the corner. It's only a couple of weeks, and then it's gonna happen. And with that, it also means probably the end of private servers for me personally. I've always been playing on private servers, but as soon as Classic launches, probably going to spend most of my time on that, including making videos, so probably not going to have any more time left for, playing on private servers. So that might be the end for private servers for me. And I think it's fun to kind of look back at all the private servers I played on and put them in a tier list as a fun video, like I said. I will, however, state that this is based on my own playing experience and what I know of the server. It could be that I played some server from 2012 to 2014 and now it's very good, but I just don't know of it. It's just based on my own experience of what I know of the server. And it's also a bit of a fun video, so don't take it too seriously, okay? Alright, let's get started. Gonna go down each and every one of these. These are all the private servers I've played. I might have forgot one, but, whatever. So, let's start off with, some of the images are scuffed as fuck, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna start off with Crit WoW. Crit WoW was a Wrath of the Lich King server that was locked at level 60. So it was kind of like Primal WoW. Primal WoW, of course, being one of the... I'm pretty sure it's one of the first servers that did it, where it was Wrath of the Lich King locked at level 60. But Crit WoW had all the talents. So in Primal WoW, you can only use 31. In Crit WoW, you could use everything. So you could be level 60 Druid doing fucking Upper Blackrock Spire, and you'd still have Starfall, and you'd still have Eclipse. So I decided to play there. Except it looked very promising at first, and then it completely shit the bed. They made some changes to the server, which completely messed everything up. And then at some point they were like, you know what? We're just not going to run the server anymore. So, Crit WoW, I had a bit of fun there. So it's not F tier, but it's definitely going E. It says here Lara, but it's supposed to say Dalaran WoW. So Dalaran WoW is a 1x rate Wrath server. It's pretty Blizz-like. You could buy like a level 70 character boost there and some other bullshit, but for the most part it was very Blizz-like. I actually did a fair bunch of raiding there. It was the first time I did proper Wrath raiding there as well. I cleared all the way from Naxxramas to ICC, and then of course the Lich King, which is another video I made that I liked a lot. And admittedly, the server wasn't really bug-free. It was, I'd say it was quite decent, but I'm gonna put this in B tier. Simply because it is a decent server, and I had a shitload of fun there with my friends, going through all the dungeons, or the raids actually. So I'm gonna put that there. I think that's fair enough. Next one, Elysium. Bit of a controversial one, I know. To me, Elysium, I didn't play it a whole lot. I was very hyped about it when I heard that Nostalrius was coming back under a different name, and I was like, you know what, I gotta try that out. But I got to like level 20, 23, 24-ish until slowly but surely, things started leaking about Elysium. And I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of shady. And then more and more came out. And since it was a 1x rate vanilla server, a 1x rate server, I thought, you know what, it's not worth my time investment. So I played on it like briefly, and just there's so much shady stuff I heard about it. So I'm going to put that in D, and you can disagree with me like, oh, I rated there till next, it was great, but again, it's just based on my experience. Firestorm. Very fitting. It's an F logo. It goes into the F tier, no question about it. Firestorm is without a doubt the worst fucking server I played on ever. It had zero redeeming values. It was, well, they have multiple servers, but I played on their Mr. Pandaria server. And I play there because beforehand they were called Panacea, and Panacea is well right here. Again, the image is scuffle. We'll get to Panacea later, but first, I played on their Mr. Pandaria server. I leveled from 1 to 90, got some PvP gear, tried out PvP, tried out some raiding, and just nothing. I enjoyed nothing about it. The quests were buggy as shit. PvP, I didn't even enjoy PvP. Raiding, like, you would go to like one raid and like 2 or the 5 bosses that just didn't work. You couldn't do them. It was a complete mess. F tier, no doubt about it. Alright, Gamer District. Ooh. You know what? Gamer District was again, it's kind of iffy because old Gamer District had had one server, a 7 times raid Wrath of the Lich King server. And not too long ago, they opened up a new server, which was 1 times raid. It just pure Blizz-like, as far as I know. But when they released that, they kind of started dying out as a private server, which was kind of a shame because I like the team of Gamer District. But it just seemed it went downhill from there. But again, I just played on there until like level 25. I didn't really experience the 1 times raid server properly. So I'll mostly go by what I've seen and what I've experienced on the 7 times raid server. And I have to say that this is probably I'm not sure if it's still up, but this was one of the best scripted servers out there from all the other private servers. I could not find, maybe like one thing that was bugged. Everything else was just so solid. I loved it. It did have a cash shop, so it was kind of iffy. But, you know, I had a lot of fun there. The Underdogs of Ratings, I don't know if you guys know that series of mine, the Underdogs of Rating. The Wrath part, most of that is recorded on Gamer District. So I'm going to put it in A tier. Definite A tier. Just because I had so much fun rating there, gearing up characters, and the fact that it was just a solid server in my humble opinion. Gummies. I could not really find a logo, just decided to put fucking gummy bears there, but Gummies S tier. No doubt about it. And let me explain why. Let me explain why. Okay? Like I said, this is based on my own playing experience, but I'll make one exception to this rule, which is Gummies. And I'm putting in S tier for basically this reason, okay? I didn't personally play Gummies, but I've kind of witnessed the launch of Gummies when I was watching people's live stream. And see, here's the thing. I used to go to our WoW servers. It's like a Reddit for like private servers. It is the most toxic, vile place you'll ever see, with people just shitting on other private servers simply because they're not playing on that one, and they think that this new private server, this new fresh server is the second coming of fucking Christ. And they'll just shit on every other private server. It's like, oh. And it was like that when Gummies came out. Like, oh, you play on Warmane? Oh my god, you peasant. Why don't you stay there and I'll play on the superior Burning Crusade? So like, so much shit. And I got so tired of these people. So when I saw Gummies, the server going live and then shutting down within 4 hours, I mean, it sucked for Gummy. But all those fucking people on WoW servers got shut up. They got blown the fuck out. And on top of that, I mean, this is the main reason why I'm putting an S tier. I never laughed so goddamn hard in my life, because what happened was that faithful night, Alex live streamed the launch of Gummies, and he was trying to log in, and he accidentally showed his password on stream. You know, block934, never forget. And someone got a hold of his fucking YouTube account, started streaming himself, and he opened Paint, and well, what do you do when you get someone else's stream? You open Paint. You start to say certain racial slurs and draw certain inappropriate things in fucking Paint. I never laughed so goddamn hard. Well, maybe not in my life, but in a long fucking time. It was a great night. That's why it's on S tier. I don't care what y'all say. That's my main reason why I'm putting it there. Alright, Hellground. Hellground, it was a Burning Crusade server with slightly increased rates. Looked great from the beginning. They were around for quite a while actually, but then they relaunched. I think it was. It's kind of vague. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure they relaunched their server. And I started playing there, and Dungeon J started playing there. Orgbit started playing there. So I had so much fun with those guys, leveling up. And unfortunately, when we got to like level 30-ish, the server shut down, and it was allegedly by Blizzard, but they wouldn't confirm it. So it's like, that's kind of weird. And then they came back, but then I'm pretty sure they came back, and then it was a pretty bad return, so to say. So then it just kind of shit the bed. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it in C because, you know, with the whole shutdown and coming back and all that, it's like kind of iffy. But I still had tons of fun there. So I would have wanted to put it in D, but I'm gonna put it in C just because I had loads of fun with Orgbit and Dungeon J. Kronos, the cave from Kronos, right there. Here's my thing with Kronos. Kronos, of course, is the most well known for their vanilla servers. The problem is I've never played on those, so I don't know what they were like. I mean, I heard from people that are good, but I can't confirm this. However, Kronos also has a Cataclysm server called Hades WoW. And Hades WoW is the reason why I'm putting Kronos on there. I mean, maybe it's should put Twin Star in there, but you get what I'm saying. It's like the same guys. Hades WoW is probably, I'd say, I don't know about Atlantis, but I'd say one of the best Cataclysm servers out there that you could play on. It's great, it's Blizz-like, had a lot of fun there. Again, me and my friends, when we were done with Dalaran WoW, which was Wrath of Lich King, we moved on to the next expansion, which was Cataclysm. So, you know, we ended up on Hades, and then we leveled there, and then sooner or later we started raiding, and it was just a great time. And it was a great scripted server. I mean, the only reason, yeah, I'm going to put it in B tier. The only reason why I'm not putting it in A is because it's Cataclysm. I'm just not a fan of Cataclysm as an expansion, but as a server, it is pretty damn good. So there you go. Molten WoW, baby, the old Warmane. I decided to split Warmane and Molten WoW because those two are kind of different. You know, they have different staff, and in terms of quality, it's quite different. Because Warmane right now, say what you want, they're quite decent at the very least. But Molten WoW, holy shit. Oh my god, it was such a shit show. It was so bad. They had this Cataclysm server that I played on. The reason I started playing there was because I was playing on Phoenix at the time. And I was playing on Warsong and Archangel. It was a vanilla and Burning Crusade server. And I wanted to kind of skip ahead to a more modern expansion to see, like, well, you know, what is Elemental Shaman like in, let's say, Cataclysm? So I found about Molten WoW, because Molten WoW advertises fucking everywhere, and they had a large population, and it said in the fucking description, like, 99% uptime, blah, you know, that bullshit. It's like, I'll give it a go. And they had two servers that I played on. It was a 3 times raid server and a 12 times raid server, I believe. Both were fucking terrible. I mean, they had a lot of population, so PvP was great. But the server, there was like one instance where they updated, they implemented a patch, right? I remember this very vividly. They implemented a patch, and this meant you could not do you could do 5% of the quests in all of the Cataclysm content. 5% of the quests in all of the Cataclysm content. It was so bugged out, you had to grind from like 81 to 85. It was a goddamn mess. But I will admit that in PvP I had a lot of fun. I had an 85 warrior, it was fully decked out, and it was great. But the server itself, in terms of quality, it was just fucking shit. It was terrible. So I'm putting it in, I want to put it in F, but I'm going to put it in E. So there's another thing I should tell you about, by the way. It's the staff, too. The staff was fucking horrible. You had, what was the name again? I think it was Sapphire. Sapphire and Hermes, I think, those two. And Sapphire was a cunt of a GM. Because people would post, like, legitimate complaints on the forum, like, hey, you know, it seems like the quality is kind of, like, lackluster, and I see a lot of bugged quests, like, maybe you guys should get on that. I think Dodgy Kebab even still has the review on Molten WoW, where you can see that he plays it, and you know, he reviews it, and he goes to the forum, and he makes a very well-written, mature, like no swearing and everything, a well-written post, and he gets this super cunty reply. I'm pretty sure it was Sapphire, but you know, that's why I'm putting in E. I had a lot of fun there with my warrior, but quality-wise, it sucked. The GM sucked too. Right, next, Monster WoW. Monster WoW also has multiple servers, I believe, but I briefly played on the Cataclysm server because I leveled there with my buddy Dr. Nomad. And then I decided to level a character from 1 to 85 because it was a high rate server. It's like, I'm going to check it out. Turns out, pretty shit server. Pretty much everyone speaks Spanish there. Just nothing that I enjoyed. So I'm going to put that in. I mean, it's not as bad as Firestorm. I'm not going to put it in F, but it's an E. Fuck that. It's not good. Northcraft. Oh, another one that I was highly anticipating. Because while I was playing on Dalaran WoW Gamer District, I started to like Wrath of Lich King a lot more. I started to understand the content, the classes, and the playstyle. Let's say a balanced druid. But it was kind of a shame that things like Gamer District were fully progressed. Like, you would log in, you start your first character, and everyone around you was wearing ICC gear. It's the same with Warmane, the Ice Crown server, I believe was. However, there was this one server that was called Northcraft was coming around. It was a Wrath of Lich King server, and you started level 70, and it was 1 times raid. So you could basically do the Blizz-like content, but then just from, like, just the Wrath of Lich King content. So it's like, hey, that's great. I get to enjoy a fresh Wrath of Lich King server. And I get to I don't have to level from 1 to 80 on a 1 times raid server. I don't want to do that. I don't have the patience. So Northcraft came around. And Northcraft, initially, the launch wasn't too bad, actually, until, I don't know what happened. It was just, people started, like, reviewing it. It's like, yeah, it's not great. You know, it's kind of shitty. And I forgot what the reason was why they pulled the plug, but eventually they did. And it was very early on, so, you know, people barely touched Nax, and they pulled the plug. So I'm putting it in D. Because the server itself wasn't too bad. It's just that they pulled the plug way too early, and it still wasn't great. It wasn't, like, up there with, like, Dalaran or Kronos or Gamer District. Ooh, Nostalrius, S tier, no doubt about it. That's the quickest decision I've ever had to make. Just no argument. Nostalrius, S tier, it just, you know, probably one of the best private servers out there. You know, very, very big reason why we now have Classic WoW coming out. I mean, anything other than S tier, you're just fucking retarded if you put Nostalrius not an S tier. It should be there right next to Gummies. Omega WoW, there we go. Is a Rathlician server. It's 2 times rate. It kind of started playing there because, you know, the whole Northcraft debacle kind of left a hole in my heart. I guess that's the term or word I'm looking for. And then Omega WoW came around. And Omega WoW was a 3 times rate server. And it had slightly increased rates. So you could get to level 80 fairly quick. And it was fresh. I was like, you know, let me check that out. And to my surprise, it was actually quite good. There are a few bugs I noticed. And the population wasn't too great. But the time I played there, again, I didn't do a whole lot. I got my Druid from 1 to 80. I got a few tier pieces. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot, actually. It's not a great server, I'd say, but it was pretty decent. And I had a lot of fun there. So I'm going to put that in B tier, actually. Panacea. So that's the old Firestorm. Panacea was also a buggy mess compared to Firestorm. Had the same problem. But I'm going to put that in... Oh, where I'm going to put this? I'm going to put this in D tier, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, the community there was actually quite nice. And not just the people I play with, it was just the people in general, like the server. They were actually quite nice people. I had great conversations with people there, met a bunch of people. So it was actually, you know, I had a great time there. Despite the buggy mess, it was still great. And I just made mostly PvP. I had a Feral Druid there. And I did PvP, and it was quite nice. And also a few of my real-life buddies decided to roll there too. So I just had a lot of fun with, you know, with them, like messing around, dueling each other. So I'm going to put that in D tier. Oh my god, Phoenix, yes. Phoenix, S tier. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? I'll explain why. So Phoenix, quality-wise, not too great. I admit. They came back. They tried to reboot Phoenix like, I don't know, 432 times. But the reason I'm putting in S tier is because it was the very first private server that I played on. And because of the high rate on the Warsong server, it allowed me to level multiple alts. And because of that, it allowed me to make videos. So because of Phoenix, this channel exists. So because of that, I gotta put it, and I played so many hours on there. And I raided with my real life friends there, you know, the people that I raid on Dalaran WoW and Hades WoW. You know, made shit ton of characters, made a ton of guides. I just had a lot of fun there. It wasn't, I'm not trying to say it's perfect. It wasn't far from perfect, actually. But it was actually a quite decent server, a decent population. The GMs were kind of shitty, though, I'll admit that. But it was not bad, especially when it came out. I mean, Phoenix went back like 2010, something like that. And back then, it was actually quite good, especially their Emerald Dream server, which was like a very Blizz-like 1 times rate vanilla server. But, you know, that's why I'm putting an S tier, just because it's the main reason why this channel is alive. There you go. Phoenix. PlayTBC. I'm going to put that in F tier, and I'm going to tell you why. Very simple. I was unable to play PlayTBC. You know, it's so ironic. But I could not play it because every time I tried to log on, the server was down. I got disconnected. It was a complete goddamn mess, at least from my playing experience. I'm pretty sure now that, like, after all the bugs and the messy launch, it got better. But again, it's just based on my own experience, and this one was just terrible. Like, no. Nope. Primal WoW. That is very tough. I think I'm going to put this in S tier as well. I think I'm going to put this... Yeah, I think this is fair enough. Primal WoW, in terms of quality, was actually quite good. For people that don't know, Primal WoW was a raft glitching server, but it had its content locked to level 60. I think it was like one of, if not the first server to kind of do that concept where you'd be in a raft glitching server, but you'd raid Molten Core and Black and Lair and Zo Group and all that shit. And I had tons of fun there. I mean, you guys probably, if you've been watching my channel for quite a while, you've seen tons of videos come by of me like raiding Molten Core, Black and Lair, Next Ramas, tons of like guides and stuff. It was just amazing to kind of experience vanilla content in a raft glitching server. And of course, the boys from Vanilla Knights, the guild that I raided with, I had so much fun with them raiding, and I was an officer for them. I was like a class leader and shit. I helped people out and all that stuff. So it was absolutely amazing. That time was great. I raided for them with like, I don't know, like a year or something like that. So I put a lot of time in that server, and I just had an absolute ball there. So that's why I'm putting it on S tier, because, you know, very high up there with how much fun I had. Retro WoW. Retro WoW is the instant 60 server where you can log in, get your like blues and stuff, and you got the 5-man raid. You can do quests for gold, but it's mostly about the PvP. A lot of people there do PvP. I'm not sure where to put this though, because I do like Retro WoW. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in C, just because I didn't play a whole lot on Retro WoW. I made a few like PvP videos there, and I had some fun with like Orc-Bit. But all in all, it just didn't quite capture me that well, or catch me that well, whatever the term or word is. And it just didn't do a whole lot for me. So it's still a decent server, but in terms of my playing experience, you know, I had some fun there, but it's not. It's kind of like in the middle. So C is fair for me. Now, Tauri is a Mists of Pandaria server, and like I said before, I played on Panacea, I played on Firestorm, and those two were absolute fucking garbage. They were terrible. I've also very briefly played on the Molten WoW. I forgot what it was called, like Storm Stout or something like that. Mists of Pandaria server. It was also garbage. However, Tauri WoW is pretty much, yeah, I'd say the best Mists of Pandaria server out there. So, in terms of quality, it's probably S tier. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of Mists of Pandaria, the expansion. I like how some classes play, like the Balanced Druid, the Hunter, and the especially the Elemental Shaman. I love the Elemental Shaman in the Mists of Pandaria expansion. And I had a lot of fun there. I mean, I've leveled from 1 to 90, had a few raids, did some stuff, you know, got to raid with some old buddies from Gamer District. So it was fun. So when it comes to quality and fun, I would put it in S tier, but because I don't really like Mists of Pandaria that much, I'm going to put it in A. I think that's fair. Next we have Vanilla Gaming. Vanilla Gaming being the very high rate vanilla server. And you know what? This is going to be a ballsy move, but I'm going to put it in A. And I'm going to tell you why. Vanilla Gaming is not a great server when it comes to quality, right? It has a cash shop, it has a bunch of bullshit like that. But here's the thing. All these servers that are like getting like, oh, get the hype going, guys. We're going to be there's going to be the next Warmane killer. There's going to be the next Nostalrius. And then they all shit the bed, or most of them shit the bed, or have crappy launches, or they turn out not to be that great. Or they just get shut down because of drama and bullshit. And meanwhile, through all that drama and through all that bullshit, there's always one private server that is just trucking along. Since 2009, this server, people shit on it, people say it's terrible, but after 10 years, it's still going. So because of that, I gotta put it in A tier. And because I also did my Nax rating there, and actually had some decent fun there, you know. It's not a great server in terms of quality. Got some, like, the cash shop shit, which I don't like. But the fact that it's been going, well, strong, in quotation marks, since 2009, I gotta put it in A tier, boys. I gotta put it there. Also, shout out to my boys at Chaos. You know, you guys are awesome. So there you go. Warmane. We're getting close to finishing up the list. Warmane is, of course, the old Molten WoW, now Warmane. And ever since they switched from Warmane, they changed their staff. They really stepped up their game. They still have some like questionable stuff. I mean, of course, the fake population meme was, you know, very prevalent during the launch of Outland, Warmane Outland. But you know, say what you want. But again, like vanilla gaming, they've had these servers open for like I don't know how long, and they still got them open, and they're still going strong. And here's the thing, like through all the bullshit, there was always like a few, like there was always like a wrath lich king server you could turn to. Like let's say Northcraft shit the bed, or Crit WoW shit the bed, or whatever wrath lich king server. You can always go back to Lordaeron or Icecrown, you know. So in terms of consistency, Warmane's got their shit figured out. I mean, there's all these sort of like Elysium with all the like the drama between like the developers and the owners of the server and all that shit. Warmane was just trucking along because they actually paid their fucking employees, so they didn't have to deal with any of that bullshit. So in terms of stability, they got my vote. In terms of quality, again, I can't really vouch for that. I've played on the Outland server only. I leveled from 1 to 70. I thought the community was pretty garbage, actually. I don't know, man. I just didn't like it that much. But it's still like it's still how do you say demands some respect because of the fact that it's been going for so long, and they have very low drama behind the scenes, or at least as far as we know. So I don't know, where do I put this? I think I'm gonna put it in C. I respect the fact that they've been very stable, but I just didn't have a whole lot of fun in their Outland server. I just didn't. That's actually a very balanced list right there. And then last but not least, we have WoW Freaks. WoW Freaks is, again, they have multiple servers. The one I played on was the high raid Mr. Panacea server, 15 times raid. I started playing there because Tauri WoW wasn't a thing yet. And I just got put off by Panacea and Firestorm. Like, the whole fucking quality was just terrible. It had some custom stuff. Some things I liked, some things I didn't really like. But again, I didn't do a whole lot there. I think I raided there for like 1 or 2 times from Raid Finder, and that's it. It didn't capture me that well, and I just didn't like the community that well. So again, it's Mr. Panacea, so it's not a great expansion. I'm gonna put that in D. It's just, you know, it's one of those servers like, whatever, you know. And there you go, guys. That is my tier list of the private server. So let's go through it one more time. S tier, Gummies, Nostalrius, Phoenix, Carl's the best and we love him. Primal WoW. A tier, Gaming District, Tauri, Vanilla Gaming. B tier, Dalaran, Kronos, the Hades WoW server for me, and Omega WoW. C tier, Hellground, Retro WoW, Warmane. D tier, Elysium, Northcraft, Panacea, and WoW Freaks. E tier, Crit WoW, Molten WoW, Monster, and F tier, Firestorm and PlayTBC. There you go, boys. Hope you enjoyed this little video, this little extra. And I'll be back soon with either another video or live stream. But until then, I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.